I've been away for far too long. I've seen the rains, I've seen the sun. All I have left is my love song. I think it's...
You know, you've got a song that you feel you're actually, you know, you've jumped through all these hoops to get the, you know, all the elements on a creative level there, and you've documented it maybe even as a simple demo, you know, maybe GarageBand, it's got a little beat, it's got a... You've played the guitar down, you've done a vocal at a friend's studio, or you've just got your Apogee One or the Duet or whatever little kind of interface you've got out, or a USB microphone, and you've recorded some stuff down into the laptop or whatever, and you've got this little MP3 of this song sitting there. I guess, you know, I'm thinking about that. I can talk about the ownership of the song, I could talk about the registration of the song, I could talk about how you might get that song to some of the people that might be able to help out on the level. It's not you're on your own and that you've got to like get the thing on iTunes yourself. I mean, there are ways of doing it now, but it's probably easier actually. But if you, we were just talking on the way down, you usually need some team around you of people who can help get that to the relevant people. It's okay to literally send a producer one instrument and one vocal demo, because their sort of role and job, aside from working with the, you know, record company and management to get all that working, is to actually hear a song in its most raw form. So you don't need to have synthesizer, drums, overdubs, all the backing vocals. What sort of does give all the keys away is a kind of guide guitar or piano or guide beat with, you know, if it was a hip hop song, you'd probably have a sampled kind of beat with something going on. But if it was, you know, a normal pop or rock pop song or something, you'd probably just have a guitar vocal. And it's actually sometimes the best way to let the producers of the project sort of almost imagine in their head how this is going to work, because it could be interpreted in a lot of different ways. So don't stress out if your guys' performance is not exactly sonically where it might have been in the writing process. We're going to be listening into lyrics, melody, arrangement more than can you sing it amazingly well. How do you know when you're listening to something at that point that this could actually end up being a smash hit, you know, on the radio or selling, you know, hundreds of thousands of copies? How do you feel that in yourself? What elements are?
It's a good question, because I mean a lot of it comes with experience, being around songs. I mean, I write 5 songs a week, sometimes 7, 8, 10 songs a week, every week. Just that's what I do every single day. I write songs for a living. So being in that and seeing songs that I've worked on go from here to there, you kind of just learn it through experience. There's a lot of people that do come in with the recordings, they have no idea. They'll play something and go, oh, I'm not sure, and I'll be like, that's amazing. We have to do that idea right there. Or a lot of times the ideas are sort of half flushed out, they don't go to the chorus properly, and I'm usually the person that goes, you know, you got a great verse, but we need a better chorus. So let's throw down your verse, and then the song can play and stop right there, and we'll figure out where to go from there. And usually from there we change some chords around and just keep flushing it out until it feels right. It's all about feeling for me, especially because I'm not a muso. So it's about whether it feels like it hits the right spots and you get excited. If it's not exciting, I usually scrap it. Well, I think today, especially with the competition being as full on as it is, and there's a lot of people that want to do this job, you do kind of have to broaden your skill set and be able to do as much as you possibly can. So if you can be the guy that is programming the song, or you can be the top liner, that's great. But if you can also be someone who can write a jingle, or you can be someone who can write library music for other things, or video game music, the more stuff you can get your fingers into, the better chance you're going to have. The more the publishing companies are going to be interested in you, because you're someone who can do multiple things. So I think once you hone your one skill set, you just move on to the next one. And I feel like you have to be really inept at lots of things to really make a career at it. I mean, I certainly do lots of things. I don't just write pop songs. I do know, I can say 100% that all the publishing companies are actively looking for young talent. They're always looking for young songwriters. There's a shortage of people who can make tracks. There's a shortage of top liners. What there really isn't a shortage of are singers. There's tons of singers. They come out of all these shows, and there's plenty of singers that need songwriters. So these kids come off X Factor or The Voice or Australia's Got Talent. They all want to make records, and none of them are songwriters. So the publishing companies who want to cash in on this stuff really quickly, they need people to put them in with that are going to deliver, you know, material that can generate money. It's a music business. It's definitely a business.
A song, anything you hear on the radio is generally, especially if it's a major record label release, you know, the radio stations hold a lot of power in terms of, and they hold a gate in terms of whether you can really get something played or not. There's a bunch of community stations and there's a few competitions you can win, you know, Triple J Unearthed, some of these kind of things which will give you a look in, and that's always a great place to start. Once you get to a certain point where you're trying to get into that super competitive space of getting you know, played in the daytime on whatever channel, you know, you're going to need some type of promotional element or some type of profile there, you know, to actually get that happening.
Since I'm floating here with you, lost within the great blistering